Hi, it's that time again, so welcome to DIY Waypoint Kids. How's your week been? What have you been up to? Have you been anywhere for a walk now that we can go that little bit further from home? I went for a nice long run yesterday at QE Country Park. So last Sunday we were looking at Daniel, another one of the giants of faith in the Bible. How have you been trying to live your best life this week, following God's rules for you? Or did you stand up for God in any way? I've got my tiara today. I wore this when I was a bridesmaid for my sister 18 years ago. I haven't worn it since. It's in a box at the top of my wardrobe with a lot of dust on the top. Have you been a bridesmaid or page boy? What did you wear? Do you enjoy dressing up and pretending to be a king or a queen maybe? Or a superhero? What's your favourite thing to dress up as? I really like dressing up as an elf at Christmas for my running club's fancy dress run. If you're expecting another part of Daniel's story today, maybe the lions or the fiery furnace, I'm sorry. We will be coming back to Daniel though, but not today. Today, we're looking at a giantess of faith, Esther. Her story is quite long. There's 10 chapters of it. So you may prefer to read a Bible story version this week or watch a video. Or if you want to read it, then just read Esther chapter 3 verse 13 to chapter 4 verse 17. So grab a Bible, read the story or find a video to watch. Pause me and come back when you found out how Esther was brave enough to save the Jewish people even though she could have been killed herself. Esther was beautiful, and because of this, she had been chosen to be the new queen, after the first queen had refused to obey the king. As well as being beautiful, Esther loved and followed God. Esther is one of the giants of faith because she was really brave. Esther asked to see the king. In those days, the queen wasn't allowed to see the king unless he asked to see her. And if the king didn't want to see the queen, she could be killed. Esther was prepared to take this risk in asking to see the king so that she could try and save thousands of Jewish people from being killed in a mean, nasty plot against them. Esther was also a Jew. So like Elijah and Daniel, Esther believed that God was with her and knew that she could trust him to be with her and help her whatever happened. Before she did anything, did you notice Esther spent 3 days fasting, that's not eating, and praying to God? The king was pleased with Esther and offered to give her whatever she wanted. So Esther asked the king to save the Jews, which he agreed to. And so Esther became a hero. The Jews still celebrate this day every year. Who wants to be a giant of faith like Esther? What can we learn from Esther? Sometimes we feel so small and insignificant that we don't feel we can be brave enough. When we feel like this, God wants us to pray, to talk to him, to tell him how we feel, and to ask him for his help. Then God asks us to trust him, our great big God who can do anything. Nothing is too big or too small for him. Esther's lesson to us on how to be a giant of faith is to fully trust that God will help us to be brave when we ask him, and to trust that he is always with us, whatever is happening. When we don't know what's going to happen next, we can trust that God does. So we've got another resource sheet for you with games, activities, things to think, talk, and pray about together. Let us know your news and if there's anything we can do to help or support you more. Have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you again next Sunday when we will be looking at another one of the giants of faith.